Atlanta has long been known as the Black Mecca of America. But what's happening now goes beyond culture, music, or legacy institutions. A new phase of Black wealth is quietly taking shape, driven by ownership, infrastructure, and strategic positioning. This analysis reflects long-term trends and publicly observable shifts, not financial advice or guaranteed outcomes. This isn't about quick wins or viral success stories. It's about where capital, talent, and policy are converging, and which sectors are best positioned to benefit from that alignment over the next decade. From logistics and fintech to education, biotech, and digital production, Atlanta sits at the center of several high-growth dynamics, reshaping how wealth is built and sustained. Today, we're exploring the strategies and structural opportunities that could influence the future of Black wealth in Atlanta, heading into 2026 and beyond. 10. The drone economy, the new logistics of the South. To understand the first pillar of future wealth, you have to look up. For decades, Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport has been the economic heart of Atlanta, pumping commerce through the veins of the city. But the ground game is saturated. The trucking lanes are full. The warehouses are overflowing. The smart money in 2026 is moving into the air, specifically the low-altitude air. We are seeing a massive influx of Black capital into the drone, delivery, and autonomous logistics sector. This isn't just about dropping a package on a doorstep. It is about the middle mile. It is about the transport of medical supplies between hospitals in gridlocked traffic. It is about the rapid deployment of parts to manufacturing lines. Investors are backing startups that are turning the airspace above the BeltLine into a digital highway. We are seeing companies emerging from the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs, RICE, that are specializing in drone fleet management software and hardware maintenance. The strategy here is infrastructure ownership. In the 20th century, if you owned the trucking company, you controlled the flow of goods. In 2026, if you own the drone fleet and the AI software that prevents them from crashing into each other, you control the speed of commerce. This sector is projected to grow exponentially, and Black investors are positioning themselves not just as consumers of this convenience, but as the owners of the logistical grid. The wealth here is being generated by efficiency. It is technical, it is precise, and it is rapidly scaling. 9. The Agri-Hood revolution. Sustainable urban development. Real estate in Atlanta has always been the primary vehicle for Black wealth accumulation. From the historic mansions of Collier Heights to the gated enclaves of Cascade, dirt has always equaled dollars. But the old model of buy, hold, and rent is evolving into something far more sophisticated and socially conscious. Enter the era of the Agri-Hood and the eco-retrofitted community. In 2026, the smartest developers are not just building subdivisions, they are building ecosystems. We are seeing a surge in capital flowing towards sustainable urban developments that integrate vertical farming, solar microgrids, and electric vehicle infrastructure directly into residential planning. This is a response to two pressures: the gentrification that pushes legacy residents out, and the climate mandates that are changing construction codes. Black developers are flipping the script by acquiring distressed land in historically Black neighborhoods, not to build luxury condos for outsiders, but to build self-sustaining communities for the existing population. The investment play here is green equity. By installing EV charging stations and solar panels, these developers are increasing the asset value while lowering the living costs for tenants. Companies focused on urban farming initiatives are turning food deserts into food producers, keeping the economic circulation within the zip code. This is wealth that heals the soil and the bank account simultaneously. It is a slow-burn strategy, but the equity holds stronger during recessions because it provides essential needs: power, food, and shelter. 8. The new health, biotech, and personalized medicine. Atlanta is home to the CDC, but for too long, the biotech wealth remained locked in large legacy institutions. That wall is coming down. A new wave of Black angel investors and venture firms are pouring capital into the life sciences, specifically focusing on health equity and personalized medicine. The medical industry is waking up to a stark reality. Drugs and treatments have historically been tested on homogeneous populations, leaving massive gaps in efficacy for people of color. This gap is now a market opportunity worth billions. In 2026, we are tracking investments in startups that are using AI to analyze genomic data specifically for African American populations. These companies are developing treatments for sickle cell anemia, fibroids, and hypertension with a level of precision that Big Pharma ignored for decades. This is not charity. This is high-stakes capitalism. The intellectual property rights for a successful specialized drug or diagnostic tool are astronomical. We are seeing the rise of medtech incubators near the Atlanta University Center, where biology PhDs are partnering with business graduates to commercialize their research. The wealth here is intellectual. It is patent-based. It is the kind of wealth that happens when you own the cure, not just the pharmacy. By funding holistic health centers and mental health platforms that cater to the specific cultural and biological needs of the community, these investors are capturing a market that has been underserved for centuries. 7. The content sovereignty, virtual production, and digital studios. We know Atlanta is the Hollywood of the South. Tyler Perry proved that you can build a studio empire here. But the 2026 strategy is not about building more physical sound stages. It is about owning the digital ones. The future of film is virtual production, the technology used to make The Mandalorian and Marvel films. It relies on massive LED walls and real-time gaming engines like Unreal Engine. This technology is expensive, complex, and currently the bottleneck of the industry. Black investors are moving aggressively into this space. They are funding digital content campuses that specialize in VFX, 3D modeling, and animation. The goal is to move Atlanta from being a location where movies are filmed, labor wealth, to a creation hub where the digital assets are owned, IP wealth. This extends to the music tech industry. We are seeing startups that use blockchain to track royalties and rights management, ensuring that the creators of the culture actually get paid for the culture. This is the creative economy, maturing from talent to ownership. It is about controlling the pixels, not just the people. When you own the digital assets, you earn money while you sleep, every time that asset is streamed, downloaded, or licensed globally. 6. Fintech 2.0. The wealth management evolution. Atlanta is already known as Transaction Alley, processing 70% of all debit and credit swipes in the United States. But the legacy systems are aging, and the Black community has historically been unbanked or underbanked. This friction is where the next fortune lies. In 2026, the focus has shifted from simple banking apps to complex wealth management algorithms and blockchain solutions. We are seeing a proliferation of fintech companies founded by Black engineers and financiers who are building micro-lending platforms and robo-advisors tailored for minority communities. These platforms utilize alternative data points to approve loans for entrepreneurs who would be rejected by traditional banks. They use AI to teach financial literacy and automate investing for first-time stock buyers. This brings us to a critical realization. In a landscape moving this fast, the greatest risk is not market volatility. It is a lack of knowledge. The tools for wealth building are changing, and to keep up, you need the right information. I have curated a selection of essential books on modern investment strategy and financial history in the View Products tag on your screen. These resources are the playbook for the strategies we are discussing today. This fintech wave is about financial sovereignty. It is about keeping the fees, the interest, and the data within the community. By building the rails that money moves on, these entrepreneurs are ensuring that Black Atlanta doesn't just spend money, but processes it. The valuation multiples for successful fintech companies are among the highest in the business world, creating a pathway to billion-dollar exits that bypass the traditional gatekeepers of Wall Street. 5. The direct-to-consumer pivot, e-commerce manufacturing. The pandemic taught the world a lesson about supply chains. If you don't control them, you break. Atlanta's Black entrepreneurs took notes. The shift in 2026 is away from drop-shipping cheap goods from overseas and toward digitally native vertical brands, DNVBs. This means designing, manufacturing, and shipping high-quality products right from Metro Atlanta. We are seeing investments in light manufacturing facilities in South Fulton and DeKalb County. These aren't the dirty factories of the past. They are clean, automated hubs producing everything from luxury streetwear to organic beauty products and plant-based foods. The strategy here is brand authenticity. Consumers are tired of generic giants. They want story, quality, and connection. Black-owned brands that can control their production quality and customer data are winning. Capital is flowing into the software that powers these brands: customer relationship management, CRM tools, inventory prediction AI, and personalized marketing platforms. This is the maturation of the side hustle. It is the transition from selling on Instagram to building a logistics machine that ships globally. The wealth here comes from margin expansion. When you make what you sell, you keep the profit that used to go to the middleman. 4. The cybersecurity shield, protecting the digital Mecca. As Atlanta grows as a tech hub, it becomes a bigger target. Cyber warfare and data theft are the silent threats of the modern economy. With major corporations like Coca-Cola, Delta, and Home Depot anchored here, the demand for top-tier digital security is insatiable. Black-owned cybersecurity firms are stepping into this breach. This is a sector with a massive talent shortage and a high barrier to entry, making it a lucrative field for those who can execute. We are seeing a trend of defensive capital. Investments are going into firms that specialize in protecting small to medium-sized minority businesses that are often overlooked by the big security giants. There is also a strong push into identity management, technologies that verify who you are online. This sector is particularly potent because it relies on government contracts. With the federal government pushing for diverse supplier mandates in defense and intelligence, Black-owned cybersecurity firms in Atlanta are positioned to capture billions in federal spending. This is contract wealth, stable, recurring, and recession-proof. It builds the kind of boring, massive fortunes that last for generations. 3. The human capital engine, workforce development tech. You can have all the AI and robots in the world, but you still need humans to run them. The gap between the skills the workforce has and the skills the market needs is the Grand Canyon of the 2026 economy. Smart money is building the bridge across that canyon. We are seeing a boom in edtech and workforce development platforms. These are not traditional colleges. These are agile, app-based training centers that can take a worker from a retail job to a cybersecurity analyst role in 6 months. Investors are funding reskilling academies that partner directly with corporations. The business model is genius. The corporation pays for the recruitment and training because they are desperate for talent. This is social impact investing with a capitalist edge. By investing in the brain power of the Black community, these companies are unlocking human potential that has been trapped by systemic barriers. The ROI here is dual-sided: profit from the training contracts and the macroeconomic uplift of a community with higher wages. It is the ultimate rising tide. 2. The AI-native enterprise, solving boring problems. While Silicon Valley chases the next flashy chatbot, Atlanta's Black tech founders are applying artificial intelligence to boring industries. And in business, boring is where the billions are. We are talking about AI for plumbing logistics, AI for hair salon scheduling, AI for reviewing legal contracts for small businesses. These are vertical SaaS, software as a service companies. In 2026, the barrier to creating software has lowered, but the barrier to selling it remains high. Atlanta's advantage is its density of Black small businesses. These founders use the local ecosystem as a testbed to perfect their AI tools before scaling nationally. Capital is coalescing around the venture Atlantas of the world, funds specifically mandated to back these minority-led tech ventures. They are looking for the unicorns of utility, companies that don't just look cool, but save businesses money immediately. The wealth created here is rapid. A successful SaaS company can go from $0 to $100 million valuation in under 5 years if the product market fit is right. This is the speed lane of the new economy. 1. The educational industrial complex, charter schools, and STEM. And finally, we arrive at the #1 investment strategy, the foundation upon which all other wealth is built: the privatization and innovation of education. The most forward-thinking money in Atlanta is flowing into the creation of high-tech charter schools and STEM academies located directly in Black neighborhoods. This is not just philanthropy, it is long-term asset development. Real estate developers are partnering with educators to build mixed-use campuses where the school is the anchor tenant. These schools are focused intensely on coding, robotics, and financial literacy from kindergarten. Why is this the #1 strategy? Because it secures the future. It creates a pipeline of talent that stays in the city. It raises property values in the surrounding area more effectively than a shopping mall ever could. And through government vouchers and grants, it is a sustainable business model. Wealthy Black families and syndicates are pooling resources to build institutions that they control. They are writing the curriculum. They are hiring the teachers. They are ensuring that the next generation of Atlanta's leaders are not just employees, but owners. This is legacy wealth in its purest form. It is the understanding that the greatest return on investment doesn't come from a stock, a bond, or a building. It comes from a child who knows their value and has the skills to demand it. What this analysis ultimately shows is that the future of Black wealth in Atlanta won't be defined by a single industry or shortcut. It will be shaped by long-term thinking, ownership of critical systems, and the ability to build institutions that endure across economic cycles. Some opportunities may accelerate faster than others. Some may evolve in unexpected ways. But together, they point to a clear shift away from income alone and toward control, resilience, and legacy. Atlanta's advantage isn't just momentum, it's positioning. If you value deep, forward-looking breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe to Black Status and stay connected. More strategic conversations on Black wealth, power, and the systems behind them are coming next.